Today, Kevin and I are going to be comparing the Krusteaz Snickerdoodle cookie mix to the Betty Crocker Snickerdoodle cookie mix. This was Michael's idea, and I love this idea, Michael, and I really appreciate you asking for this. The Krusteaz mix was $3.29, and the Betty Crocker was actually a little bit more expensive. It was $3.49. We found them both at Meijer. So what you want to do is you want to heat your oven, preheat your oven to 375. You want to get a cookie sheet, and I have used one of the, just a piece of parchment paper to put it in the bottom so that they don't stick. And then you'll see we have very similar sides here. The Krusteaz mix requires an egg and 1 stick of butter. And the Betty Crocker mix requires 1 egg, 1 stick of butter, and then 1 tablespoon of water. So that's the only difference, is you need a tablespoon of water for the Betty Crocker. You want a empty bowl because there is a packet in here of cinnamon sugar. So I'm going to open the Krusteaz first, and I'll show you. So you get your cookie mix, and then here is your cinnamon sugar. So we can go ahead and take this and open it, and we're going to pour this into our bowl. See what it looks like. And then the cookie mix, you want to take this and your egg and butter, and you want to stir it until a dough forms, kneading if necessary. So here's my dough. I'm going to just set this to the side for right now. And now I'm going to move over to the Betty Crocker. We're going to do the same exact thing with the Betty Crocker, except with this one, we're going to add our tablespoon of water. This also has a packet in it, right there. And so I'm going to pour this into the bowl. Okay, so this, I'll show you. This is the Betty Crocker. This is the Krusteaz. The Krusteaz is a little bit darker, just slightly darker. Okay, so we're going to pour our packet and then add our butter, egg, and water. And it's going to end up looking just like the Krusteaz, hopefully. This is the Betty Crocker dough, and it is a lot stickier. Like the Krusteaz told you that you needed to knead it if necessary. You probably couldn't knead the Betty Crocker dough because it is very sticky. But now we're going to make our cookies, and I'm going to be making larger cookies. You can make smaller cookies. I have my large cookie scoop here, and I'm going to fill up half my pan with Krusteaz, and I'm going to fill up the other half with Betty Crocker. But what you want to do is you want to, it says form this into a ball, but I'm using my cookie scoop just so that I can have equal parts. And then you want to roll it in your cinnamon sugar mix, and then you want to lay it on your cookie sheet, just like that. Now we're going to do the same thing with the Betty Crocker. I'm going to clean out my scoop here. Okay. So same thing with the Betty Crocker. And we're going to roll it in their cinnamon sugar mix. And I'll keep those on the right side of the pan. And then when I get these ready, we're going to bake these. We're going to bake them for about 14 minutes. but I will let you know, of course, when they come out, how long we left ours. These were in the oven for 13 minutes. So I set my timer for 14 minutes, but then I started smelling them. And so I didn't want to leave them in too long. You can see that the Krusteaz, those are the 6 on this side. They did puff up just a little bit more. And the Betty Crocker, they look really nice too. And they pretty much stay in place. So I was able to fit 6 per side, 12 total. On my cookie sheet, and that's always nice to know that they're not going to run or anything like that. So these have cooled off a little bit, and I figured I would show you the bottoms of them, how they baked. So this is the Betty Crocker, and they look great on the bottom. I mean, they just baked perfect, and they have a nice round shape, so that really worked out well. And then these are the Krusteaz. And they look nice on the bottom too. They're just a little puffier, but they still baked really well. So now we'll give them a try. We have actually decided to let Kevin try these blind because he could definitely try them blind. He would have no idea which one I'm giving him. But let's compare some nutritional information first. So these say, now the sizes are going to be different than what I did, but we're going to go by their numbers. So one cookie, they're saying 24 gram dry mix.
Mine's 23 grams.
Is 90 calories.
The
Yours
mix,
is 90.
90.
90,
Yep.
90 calories. The cholesterol, 0.
Yep.
The sodium is 65 milligrams.
Mine's 60.
Okay, the carbs, total carbs is 21.
19.
Okay, and the total sugars is 13.
Mine's 12.
Okay.
So you got a little more sugar.
And then less than a gram of protein.
Same.
Okay, so
very similar.
yeah, it is very similar. So he will not know which one I'm giving him first, but I will point to you, and that way you will know whether it's going to be this one or what. Okay. So, and I'm going to move these around so you're not going to even have any clue which one I'm fooling with. Okay. Should I just give you...
Half. Give me a half.
Half a cookie. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I do have to say there's not one that's like way better than the other one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can give you more if you want them.
That's fine. Gotta take his off, it doesn't matter.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which one's which.
No, but I mean, you know which one you like more?
Yeah. I like the second one better, only because it's slightly better cinnamon, and it's got a thicker bake on it, so it's a little bit chewier, but it's not quite as dense chewy. The first one was they were both kind of chewy, but the first one was kind of a skinnier, a thinner cookie, and it was a little bit chewier.
Okay.
Like the edges were chewier and everything, whereas the second one was crisper on the edges.
Okay.
I like the second one better.
Okay.
But it's truthfully, it's splitting hairs. I mean, literally.
I think it's splitting hairs too.
Yeah.
I really do.
They're so similar.
I think they're very, very, very similar.
If you weren't sitting side by side trying them, you wouldn't even know the difference. If this was your normal brand and somebody snuck in a Krusteaz and baked it for you and gave it to you, I don't know that you would know the difference.
See, to me, the Krusteaz was a little bit lighter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a little thicker and it's not quite as dense and chewy. Yeah.
And I also thought the Krusteaz had more of like a vanilla flavor than a cinnamon flavor.
I think they both really had more of a sugar cookie kind of flavor. Really, honestly, both of them weren't like really strong cinnamon.
Yeah, it's not like it, yes, it's not really, really strong.
Yeah.
And that's going to depend on you, and you saw how much cinnamon I put on there.
You covered them pretty well, so and you can see it's on there. It's just not a really strong cinnamon flavor, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Just know that they're basically both equally light in cinnamon. It's not like one is over the other one, really.
I think
I just like the texture of the Krusteaz just a little bit better.
That's what I'm thinking. I like the texture of the Krusteaz. It's just a little bit fluffier. But now you really like the flavor of the Betty Crocker.
Yeah, but which one was the second one?
The Betty Crocker.
Okay, well the second one was the fluffier one then.
Oh, see, I thought the Krusteaz was fluffier.
Whatever the first one was, I don't know.
That was Krusteaz.
Okay, the first one you gave me was a little more flat and denser and chewier. Even the edges were chewier.
It is.
The second one was more softer in the middle, not quite as dense, and was crunchy on the outside. So I didn't know which one number 2 was. So the second one for me was the slightly better one.
I mean, looking at them side by side here, it looks like these 2 cookies came out of the same mix.
Yeah. Now that you say that you said the Krusteaz was number 1.
Yes.
You said it had more of a vanilla flavor. I agree, because it does have more of that
vanilla
sugar cookie kind of vanilla flavor.
It has more of a sugar cookie flavor.
Yep.
Whereas the Betty Crocker had a little bit more of the cinnamon flavor.
I agree, 100%.
But truly, when you look at them here, this could be the exact same mix, could be the exact same everything. You are literally splitting hairs here. You are just as well off.
Whatever's cheap.
But whatever's the cheapest, because it's the same process. You have a stick of butter, you have an egg. The only difference is you're adding a tablespoon of water to the Betty Crocker. Big deal, who cares? It's the exact same process. It's not like you're going to a lot more trouble for one than you are the other.
They mix the same and everything.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. So you do need, I would go with whatever's cheapest, because they are both equally delicious cookies. They really are.
Especially when they're warm.
At Meijer, the Krusteaz just happened to be 20 cents cheaper. But now, if you find these at Walmart, you might get the Betty Crocker for 20 cents cheaper. Truly, it's whatever one you can get for the cheapest price, because
they're so close.
They're close. You may as well call. I think this blind taste test has been a wash, a draw. Yeah, it's been a draw. This one, I love the idea, and I love comparing them, because you would really think that one would stand out more, but it absolutely doesn't. This is one of those things where if you only get one brand or the other in your area, you're not missing out, because it's the same. And it's amazing, because one is made in Minnesota, the other is made in Washington State. But it's the same thing here.
Yeah. My only additional comment would be neither one of them really have a very strong cinnamon flavor.
No, they're not. They're mainly a sugar cookie
with a little bit of
with a hint of cinnamon, and that goes for both of them.
Yeah.
So,
they're both equally light.
Yes, exactly. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I thought this, like I said, was a great idea, but hopefully you all enjoyed it too. And thanks for watching.